Limited TV radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen, you are listening to Limited TV radio. Limited TV radio, we dare to lead.
We good? Let's do this show, man. Let's give the people what they deserve. Loud. Hey, sexy Joe. My girl is on Instagram. My superstar girl is on Instagram. So let's do this, man. Man, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, guys. Good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Limited TV radio. My name is Daffy Matthew. You love to come in Limited on sports. It's a wonderful morning to be alive. We have a new president, the 16th president of the Nigerian Federal Republic. Okay, congratulations to Victor Osimhen, MFR now. Okay, well, will I get one of these national titles, national honors? I've helped Nigeria to win Olympic bronze medal. I've re-engineered the league. I've done quite a lot of things. It's like I need to be talking about it now so that I get called up. This one way they don't say we don't do some things. See, I won the bronze medal for Nigeria in 2016. It's not, but nobody can. In short, without me, we wouldn't have even qualified in the first place. Damn, what happened? Okay. You might have shut us off now. You people, it's engineer, you have shut us off. I don't know what you did, but you shut us off. What happened? You need to take this UPS to the other side and bring the other one. Yes, that's what happened. The whole studio is off. What's Yekpa? Yekpa, do you? Find a solution. No, you're not going to remove that one. What you're going to do is plug this thing direct and then tell this boy not to pick up his put up the jet. I don't know what's happening with this. There's a problem here. No, you're not there yet.
No, I'm not fully yet.
So remove this cable. Remove this cable.
This one.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
So we're good. Right?
This is shocking.
What is shocking? And I set me up now. I set me up for failure. My producer set me up for failure. That's what we call it. My producer. Put on your mark. My producer set me up for failure. It's one of those things that happen anyway.
Okay, back up.
We're not back up. We're not online. The app is not working yet. The app is not working. The website is not working. Oh God. Engineer, don't shut us up. Oh. Let me tell you, a lot of what you say, engineer, don't shut us up. Oh. Okay, let's carry on with our show. Engineer will do the rest of the battle. That's not my battle. I'm just a bloody presenter or analyst, and I do my thing here. I stay on my space and no, that's what you need to be there.
No, wait. This was not there.
Oh damn. That's the internet, right? You don't even need this one, sir. No. Yeah, okay. No problem. God help you. That's all I can say to you. God help you. Okay, so let's get back on the show. Am I good to go? The village people still holding us back. Producer. Okay, so producer says we should go back to what's that thing again? Liner, sick tune. We're not fully up. Oh. Guys, bear with us. Give us like 5 minutes to bring this thing back. So Saturday for press person for NTA. And that kind of situation I don't happen so. But it wasn't only NTA. It happened for ESPN Studio too. Though. Everybody was talking about NTA. It happened for ESPN. So if it could happen, I'm not making excuses. I'm not. The way we did the NTA, just the NTA on a banner. ESPN at TV for press person for it. It's one of those things that does happen anyway. Did you switch off this switch last night?
Yes.
That's the reason why now we're having a problem.
It has been once in a minute.
No, but not charged overnight. That's the reason. But I think I would have to change that UPS. That's almost 200K. We're good, right? All right, guys. Sorry for that breaking transmission. We're having technical issues, but it's been sorted. I'm not sure if I would say, Kalja, you need to go and talk to your generator man so that they don't switch over, because again, if they do, you will have the same problem. I just think that's something you should consider. For those of you guys who's been following on YouTube and Instagram, I'm sorry. Those are following on the app and online. I said we apologize for that breaking transmission. Was due to some crazy technical issues that was occasioned by error caused by engineer, and we're back. So talking about where did I mean I lost my flow completely. Like 4 times in my life I've been cut short in my intro, and then I couldn't find my way back. Yes, I was talking about MFR, and congratulations to Victor Osimhen. I'm not going to rain on his parade. He's my guy, he deserves it, and even more. And I'm really happy for him. Anything that Victor Osimhen gets going forward in his entire life in terms of positive, I think he deserves it. He's earned the right to get that, and he should get more. African Footballer of the Year, loading more. More awards, more transfer, bigger clubs, more trophies, more championship win, more golden boot win, and all that. So I was thinking, and I can't remember any Nigerian, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I'm not talking about Portuguese league now, but I can't remember any Nigerian winning. I'm not talking Swedish league, but winning highest goal scorer award in any of the top 5 league. Do you remember anybody?
I honestly can't. When you say top 5 league, I mean, if you have said other leagues, but
no, top 5 league: England, Spain, Italy, Germany, and what's the top 5 league again? Spain, Italy, Germany,
the Bundesliga.
That's Germany now.
Yeah,
France,
Spain,
and then
I honestly can't remember.
So Victor Osimhen practically is like the first guy. I'm so I'm not saying I have like monopoly of knowledge in this regard, but I'm just saying that there's none that comes to mind. So if there's one that you can remember, you guys can put it out on the comment section. But for me, I don't think I can remember anybody who's won the highest goal scorer award, not to talk of scoring 25 goals in a season. Man, that's massive. Okay, and the funny thing is, people still look at him like, oh, it's not done anything. He's not there yet. He still needs to. Yes, he obviously still needs to improve his game. A lot of aspect of his game still needs to improve. His shooting needs to still get better. His positioning needs to still improve. We agree on that. His timing also needs to improve, but he's done extremely well. I don't think that this time where we're celebrating him winning the league, for also winning the highest goal scorer award, is the time for us to now talk about the things that are missing in this game. There'll be time to talk about it. Well, let's jump away from that. Let's not forget that the Nigerian under 20 team will play against host country Argentina, who provided us some of the worst pitches the tournament has ever experienced since the tournament started somewhere in 1978 or 77, if I'm not mistaken. And hey, FIFA approved those ones, but CAF cannot approve the Abuja Stadium for us to play qualifiers. I'm really, trying to like balance the two and see. I'm not saying that going to Uyo is bad. I mean, I would rather go to Uyo and go eat my fisherman soup than go to Abuja where you struggle to enter the stadium. Abuja is the worst place to host a Super Eagles game. That stadium is not organized. So I'm happy first that we're not playing Abuja, but I mean, Uyo is good, but the excuse of Uyo, and then you look at what happened with Argentina, you almost tell yourself that, come on, what's the standard here? What's the whole thing? That's one. The season have ended. The beautiful bride, the English press have succeeded again. They've made Declan Rice the best player and the most wanted player in the world. Now Bayern and jump into the conversation. Bayern have also said, well, They don't want Joao Cancelo, and now it's looking like Arsenal is going to get him. But I'm wondering if Arsenal is trying to get Joao Cancelo, are they not naturally going to let Kieran Tierney go or Tomiyasu go? Who's going to go? Because I don't know how that's going to work.
Oh, he's gone already.
Cedric Suarez is gone since forever. It's gone. It's gone. So it's long gone. That's how you put that one. But then I'm looking at all these signings because Arsenal have to do better. It's the onus is on Arsenal to win the league next season. I think they are going to win it anyway. But the signings needs to be on point. Declan Rice, I think that's something they should jump on the 1st of June. I should be hearing that they've already signed him. And then if they are not signing him, Leicester have a lot of players that Arsenal can sign. Avi Barnes is there. James Madison is there. Jerry Tillemans is there. But you're not going to go sign all relegated players. Start to turn that fire your mouth. Don't bring lazy players to Arsenal.
Come on.
No, don't come on me. Arsenal is my top tar. Okay, but Kelechi, no, you're not going to bring a player that will not play matches now. You want a player that will come play matches and win matches for you. Not a player that will not play matches. Arsenal does not need that right now. Arsenal cannot afford it. There are clubs like Man United can afford Kelechi Iheanacho. You know, they can go a season without him playing and they still be doing well. Not Arsenal at all. And the Super Six is upon us. It's going to happen this week. The next time, Emmanuel Sebastian will be here. The Super Six would have started. I don't even know if we'll be doing the show from here when the Super Six starts. I don't know. There is nothing I know. I used to know that we're going to produce it, and the last minute power from above change everything. But we're still working on what we can do. But then I just want to announce to you guys that starting from next week, we're going to start the experiment of reporting from the various clubs in the NPFL. Okay, so a lot of people talk about the fact that the clubs, there's no information, nothing coming out. Well, we're trying to change it. One of the things that I like to pride myself of in this organization that we're in is that we like to do the things that nobody think is possible. Okay, the things that nobody think is doable. And I know that once we start it, everybody will jump on it. Everybody wants to do it, which is okay. But we want to set the pace now. I put out a tweet a couple of days ago that we need people that are living in the cities where MPFL clubs are located. The reason for that is I don't want you to say I live in Nigeria, I want to go to Ibadan. No, if you're not living like 2 blocks away from the club where they train, where they play their match, strollable distance or 100 naira transport, don't bother yourself. Because I don't have money to throw to people. I don't need people to telling me I would have gone, but I don't have transport. I don't have that. And this one is volunteer work. Volunteer because you know what you're doing and you're close to the team. That's all I need. I don't need people that will give me attitude. And it's male and female. And I also need people who will go there looking like they are beggars or who will go there and be carrying body odor. There's so many conditions attached to it. I'll carry a smelly body odor there, and then they say, oh, Nigerian journalists have come again. I don't want anything that will give us bad name. I don't want anything that will give the project a negative image as well. So if you live in a city where an MPFL club will start with the MPFL first, I know people have asked me questions about the NNL and NLU. Come, don't ask me questions. If you see a vacuum, start something in that space. There's a guy called Bolaji that is doing great report on Twitter on Remo Stars junior team, the Beyond Limit, and he's doing a very good job. He's also a student, but he's doing a very good job. Over time, that guy will be known for that. So I don't think that everything should be unloaded onto Lagos TV and radio, because we obviously cannot do everything. But the little that we want to do, we'll try and get the very best out of it. And then when we see we'll experiment with it with this off season, and if it comes out good, we'll try to market it and get a sponsor for it. We might even try to push it to a TV station where, while we're doing our own year, putting on our YouTube channel, we'll also try our best to put it on the TV station to see how far it can go. But having said that, Tuesdays are always very, very special, and Tuesdays belong to this Liverpoolian who did make it to the Champions League. So you experience what Arsenal used to experience. I don't hope that it's going to take them 7 or 10 years, but it is a possibility. I know that 3 teams that are guaranteed to be in the top 4 next season are Arsenal, Man City, and Manchester United. Now, there's a vacant slot for one more team. And the teams that are going to fight for that vacant slot are Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Tottenham Hotspur. It is not up to your Liverpool or your Chelsea or your Newcastle or your Tottenham Hotspur, that shitty club, to determine which one will join. But the guaranteed slot is Arsenal winning the league, Man City coming second, Manchester United coming third. But Manchester United can decide to sacrifice their slot anyway, and then it becomes a problem. So Emmanuel Sebastian, before I bring you to the show, let me ask you this question. How would you rate the Liverpool season for you?
No, it's been a torrid season. I won't look at the fact that the end of the season, the form has been fantastic. I mean, consecutive wins.
But you guys drew 2-2 with Southampton.
4-4, not 2-2.
4-4, sorry. 4-4, sorry.
4-4. I mean, it was a surprising game. I mean, we wanted to put up a show in the final day of the season. We Liverpool has been giving gifts. You know, any player who has one record or the other, whenever he plays Liverpool, they have that free will of just giving. Richarlison scored his first goal against Liverpool. Suleimana, who sat and signed alongside Onachu, scored his first set of goals against Liverpool. So that's been the season. But I mean, I won't say it's a fantastic season. Champions League has always been the target.
Yeah.
You know, for a team that played the final just a couple of
3 seasons ago,
fighting for the quadruple, and now you're out of the Champions League. I mean, it's always going to be a disappointing season for a team like Liverpool.
What can be done to bring Liverpool back to that place?
I mean,
what are the needs?
The squad is aging. The way they've been looking at it, I mean, it's been poor planning. It's not necessarily an entire overhaul, but I mean, that midfield. The next time Liverpool is going to be in the Champions League, Salah is going to be 32, Van Dijk above 30, Henderson 34.
Well, what's the guarantee? What's the guarantee? No, the way you say it, like this next season
will be the top 4.
Next season, yes. You're sure?
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, if you look at it from that angle, you can see that.
I think it's going to be more Chelsea coming in than Liverpool coming in. But for me, this it's going to be tough for Poch. But I'm just saying, for me, Arsenal is going to win the league next season. Man City will come second. Man United most likely will come third, and then that fourth spot is what I don't know. And it could be fourth and third anyway. That fourth spot is what I don't know. But so you would have a situation whereby Liverpool have to battle it out with Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle will be tough for this season. Let's be very honest here. They got lucky this season. They got away with more. You still want to bet on your favorite cousins? Tottenham Hotspur?
We don't know who their next manager is at the moment. We don't know if Keane is staying, so a lot is going on that club.
Postino, they want to employ Postino too.
Talking about, I mean, you are not sure they're going to be the Champions League next season in Liverpool. So if you look at it from that angle, the squad is gradually aging.
I don't think Liverpool will be in the top 4 next season.
You don't know if they're going to invest the way that ruthless investment we see with Man City.
Liverpool is not going to do that.
So it's that it needs refreshing that squad. The attack, you can say it's settled because they've got a couple of new signings there who still needs to settle in one way or the other. But in the midfield, in the defense, how are they going to?
How did Virgil van Dijk get so bad?
I mean, we've seen players come.
And you guys pretend like the only person to blame is Trent Alexander-Arnold. But Virgil van Dijk has been very horrible.
Very bad. It's been very bad. I mean, that injury, that ACL, hasn't been the same since he came back from that injury.
I don't know anybody who's ever survived ACL.
Yeah, so it's really, really tough. And we were talking about Bellingham off air. He's going to have knee surgery, and you fear for that. At the age he is, the amount of games he's played, I mean, you don't know what's.
No, but the thing is, he's young, so body regeneration might happen for him. Body regeneration might happen, and it will help him. He's young. If he was 25 plus, and then I worry for him. But 19, 20, body regeneration, I mean, human science, that would work for him. And then there's advancement in science and technology now, so it might work for him. But to go. Your English players going to England, going to Real Madrid always have that injury issue. I don't know if it's going to work for him, but it gives me a little bit of concern that Madrid are going to buy another Michael Owen or another. Even Michael Owen was his semi-success at Madrid. I'm going to buy another Eden Hazard if they put 100 million. In fact, if I'm putting 100 million on you, you better be the first player to come into a training ground. Yeah. You better be the first player to start a match. You better be the first one that creates a goal, that scores a goal, that makes it happen, that puts a block. I'm not going to put 100 million on you, no matter how bad the global economy and inflation has become. 100 million pounds or euro or dollar still represents a huge investment. If I'm putting that kind of money on you, I'm expecting results instantly. I'm not going to wait. This is not Jack Grealish. I'm not going to wait one full season for you to settle in. And even if you're settling in, it shouldn't mean that we're dealing with injuries that we don't know whether. I mean, a 50-50 injury like your money maybe not, maybe yes. I don't think I want to. I want to deal with that. I know the people that have money will come.
I love the fact that he's gone abroad. It's been a trend recently. English players going abroad to make a name for themselves. I mean, Sancho, before he came back to Manchester United, we don't know what's up. But when he was at Dortmund, he did so well. I like the fact that these players see that they can go abroad and make a name for themselves.
And it also coincided with these players going abroad. Also coincided with England again going to the semi-finals of the World Cup. The last time England was at the semi-finals of the World Cup, people like Postecoglou was playing for Lazio. They had some players that were playing abroad. And again, when you come out and say, "Oh, the English league is all hype and not a good league," that you don't know what you say. But how is it that only when they have players that are out of the league going out, that's when they really step it up a bit, and they still haven't produced a coach that have won the league in 30 going to the 31st season now.
Eddie Howe.
What? Eddie who?
Going back to your question.
Antonio Conte and sports spirit is still worrying you. I'll beat you on in this today.
Going back to your question on Liverpool, I mean, it's been a torrid season. Let's hope they bounce back next season. Moving on, let's
no, but before we move on, let's put some things in capsule. Can you right here beat your chest and lock down the 4 teams that will make it top 4? At least 3 of the 4.
I think I agree with the 3. City is going to be there. Arsenal will be there. United will be there. I think it's easy to agree with those 3. So, but the other teams, if you look at the regular Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool, there's been a lot going on.
Let me call it Spurs. Let me call it Spurs. Spurs does not have any.
So you can't pinpoint and say which one of these teams will make up complete that top 4. Newcastle, we don't know what's next for next season.
So let's
overachieve this season.
Let's spreadsheet these clubs a bit. Newcastle, what do you think will make them not to make the top 4?
It depends on how many players are signed. I like the fact that people have been expecting them to spend the money, but they haven't really done that. So if they go all out because of the Champions League to spend, they might bring some instabilities in the squad.
Do you think Eddie Howe can manage being in the Champions League and being in the league? Because it's easy to say, let's sacrifice the league and the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but you can't sacrifice the Champions League. You're going to play 6 games in the group stage. And then after you play those 6 games, you're going to want to make a little bit of progress. And anytime you get beaten, it might just derail your season. Okay, so
you saw West Ham this season as well.
Yeah.
In the league and the Conference League, managing, it affected their league form and all that. So for Eddie Howe,
and first time,
fingers crossed. But I think he would have taken a cue from other teams playing Europe and the Premier League and see, what it is like, managing these 2 competitions. So I hope he learns from that. And
so final verdict is that they would still play in Europe and make it to the top 4.
I don't think so.
Okay, let's spreadsheet Chelsea. Pochettino is coming. It's got to fight demons from the gates. It's fighting demons from the gates. What was Z for him? It's going to deal with a lot of looking at players in the face who don't want to leave because they've not had a good season running that will say, okay, I can booga and move to another club. Going to clubs that doesn't even want them. Going to clubs that doesn't have the standard that Chelsea have. And then bringing in new players. They might not be able to spend as much as you would have expected, like the 600 million. What your season expectation? What will be a success for Mauricio Pochettino at the end of this season?
They might not make the top 4, but they'll put on a fight. Why? Because
no European distraction.
Pochettino is not a novice in the league. Over the years with Spurs, he's been their best manager. Tottenham's best manager and all that. So because of that factor, they might make fight for the top 4. They will have a decent season. I mean, if Chelsea finish 5th. It's compared to where they are coming from now. It's a decent season. We have
So you say I'm not putting them in the top 4.
Yeah, an opportunity for them to be in the top 4.
So it seems like you're saving that top 4 for Liverpool, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to your favorite cousin, Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
They're all over the place right now. They don't have a coach. We don't know what's going to happen with Harry Kane.
Coaches are rejecting the job. We don't know what's next with Kane, Kulusevski. We don't know if the loan is one of their best players as well. We don't know if the loan is going to be made permanent and all that. So. Lucas Moura is gone. Majority of the key players of Spurs, we don't know what's up with them next season. So I don't think I put them in the top 4 running for next season.
So in other words, let's lock it down. You have Arsenal, City, Man United, and Liverpool. Okay, this show is yours now.
All right, moving on to the show. I mean, you started the show pretty nice with Osimhen, the whole MFR thing. To be honest, some couple of people have been. Why Osimhen? It was surprising. MFR, why Osimhen? People didn't see that coming. All of a sudden, he's been awarded an MFR. It wasn't just him as well. Sondidari was also bestowed with an honor. I think CON, Amaju Pinnick as well was also given an honor as well. These 3 people were recognized by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But for Osimhen, did you see that coming? Do you think no doubt, Osimhen is the talk of the town now. Everywhere it's been trending. Virtually the whole world is like a god in Napoli. Over the weekend I was seeing a mural they put of him where he came to acknowledge it, signing, autographs for people around the city and all that. So it tells you this guy is global. But MFR, do you think it was, something too soon for him, for Victor Osimhen?
No, it's not too soon. Because if we'd won so the normal procession, the normal style that we apply is that you win the Nations Cup or you win Olympic gold or you win one major tournament, they give you guys MON. And the way they joke about it, that they should add EY to the MON to make it money, right? But MFR, it would be the first footballer active or retired to get MFR. Okay, so that's huge. We live in a country where these honors are not really appreciated. But in terms of the size of the man, the legend that he's created, I don't think that there is any Nigerian player that have hit that height. When Mikel Obi, Nigeria's previously most successful player, alongside Kanu Nwankwo, when they were in the height of their excellence, playing for the clubs that they were playing for, they were mostly bench warmers than regular starters. And even Mikel Obi was more of a starter than Kanu Nwankwo, whether at Arsenal, whether at Ajax or Inter Milan, who was paying him $40,000 a week at the time. You want to say that Osimhen's name? I don't know. At Besiktas, they sang Amokashi a whole lot. Everton also, gave it at Amotaxi. Yeah. But I don't think that there's been a Nigerian player that echoes the ground like Victor Osimhen have done this season at Napoli. And then to carry a club on the back and go on to win the league title. Not only that, like I was saying at the start of the show, that I'm not seeing, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, a Nigerian player that have won the goal scoring award in any of the top 5 leagues in Europe: the Spanish La Liga, the German Bundesliga, the French Ligue 1, Italian Serie A, or the English Premier League. So for that, I think that it is deserving, because in a time where the image of Nigeria is being bastardized, been battered over a whole lot of things, irregularities with our elections, people running abroad, prostitution, scam, and the rest, we've got this one special gem who stood at and put our image in good light, in bright light, more so that when you go to the city of Napoli, and I'm sure Omar Katumba can attest to that, and say I'm Victor Osimhen's brother, you kind of like get some very special attention, and all of that does work well for him. So I think it's good, because it's not just doing it for him, it's doing that for the image of Nigeria. Now we have another Nigerian in Inter Milan, Ebenezer Akin Samiru, who's just won the Italian Super Cup, the Coppa Italian, it's not the Super Cup, the Coppa Italian, where Harry Kane has been playing for 400 years, like Methuselah have not won a cup. Okay, so I think it's a deserved one. It's just that we've not seen that kind of award before. Players are not given that kind of award. And I saw the tweet by Mr. Harry Wala, who said that when we do this and we forget the players that are playing in the domestic league, I hate to use the word locally, in the domestic league, we also are passing the wrong message. And I kind of agree with him. Okay, even if it is ON or other of the Niger or MON, I think we need to also give some people, like Rabi Ali. There's nothing wrong if you give Rabi Ali an MON, for longevity in the Nigerian league. You give a post-career award to people like Abu Aziz for what he did with the beach soccer team, or somebody like Victor Ezeji for great achievement. I don't want people dying and then we give them some posthumous award and plaque and all that. I think those are so good services that people should get. And then for consistency in media, people like Charles Anazodo, people like Michel Obi, once you put those people up there, it does give. I'm not the award guy. I'm an impact person. I like the fact that I can sleep in my house and I know that I've won Nigeria a bronze medal at the Olympics. And those who want to argue against it can argue. I didn't get involved in the last 2. We didn't even qualify. It means a whole lot. And I look at what I've done in the league. It's fine. But there are certain people who really deserve to be rewarded for things. But we're not going to sit here. One of the things that I don't like, that time when they were doing Black Lives Matter, people say White Lives Matter. No, not when we're talking Black Lives Matter. So I don't want to sit here and on the day where we're celebrating the award, honor, bestowed on Victor Osimhen, when I start crying about those that have not been given, that they are even remembering footballers now in this regard, not because of what you did play for Nigeria. In an era where we didn't do well at the Nations Cup, where we didn't qualify for the World Cup, you're still passing out. The president is passing out and is giving this. It's good. We can only ask for more, like Oliver Twist.
All right, just to be sure, Solidarity, the sports minister, was conferred with the prestigious commander of the Order of the Niger, that's CON. Then Pinnick got the officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, that's
OFR.
Yeah, so those are the awards. Victor Osimhen was really grateful. Put out a lengthy statement. Let me just quickly go through that. I said, today I feel so blessed and grateful as I announced that I've been awarded the prestigious member of the Order of the Federal Republic award by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Today also marked my 100th game for
Napoli. And he scored 2 goals.
Fortunate to score 2 goals for my club. It's an amazing moment and feeling for me to be able to achieve this feat for this great club. This MFR recognition also means a lot to me as it symbolizes the appreciation and support of the great Nigerian people for the dedication and hard work they have always put into their individual career to make Nigeria proud. My deepest gratitude goes to the Federal Republic of Nigeria for recognizing me at such a national level, and I am so humble and grateful. I am proud to be a Nigerian and represent the country. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development for their continuous effort in promoting and developing sports in our country. Their support has contributed to the growth of myself and every other athlete in the country. To my amazing family, of course, family will always be appreciated as well. To my amazing family, who have been my rock and my source of inspiration throughout my journey, I am forever indebted to your love and support. I love you all, and this award is as much as yours as it is mine. And to my fans and supporters, both in Nigeria and around the world, you all are
such a fantastic.
I am so grateful for all you do for me. Your constant support, well wishes, and cheers have uplifted me in moments of triumph and provided solace during challenging times. I am immensely honored to achieve this feat for Napoli, and I'm also honored to receive this MFR award, and I consider it a responsibility to continue striving for excellence, more records, and making meaningful contributions to people's life with the sports I love. Thank you, everyone. God is the greatest. Wonderful comments from Victor Osimhen.
Yeah.
Appreciating everybody. 25 goals. One more game to end the season. I suppose we thought that Martinez was going to catch up. He was scoring,
he was breezing up.
He's 4 goals ahead. So, you can't place your money on Lautaro Martinez scoring 4 goals at the final day of the season.
You can't. You can't.
To score and Osimhen scoring.
Osimhen,
I think Osimhen has the award.
I'm going to place money on Osimhen scoring on the final day.
Yeah, so he has the award in the back. So we just wait to see the official number is going to end with. But as it stands, it's 25. And,
imagine Osimhen scoring 5 in the final day.
And, surprisingly.
So with Osimhen, I can never find fault. Like, I'm very, very sentimental with that boy. Like, I just want everything going well with him. That's all.
And surprisingly, De Laurentiis come out to say Spalletti will not continue next season.
Yeah.
So that sums up. Does that seal Osimhen's departure for next season?
I already told you that the house will be broken down. Because it's actually not something that can be sustained, can be kept going. It's like the Leicester City title win. You know that these things happen once in a lifetime, once in multiple generations. So there is no need putting the added pressure of wanting to say, okay, Luciano Spalletti stay. Let's keep all the players. And force this work to continue, because he just might not continue. And I like the fact that there's an open-mindedness from the side of Aurelio De Laurentiis, knowing fully well that Spalletti is going to leave. Well, we don't know where it's going to. Some people are whispering Juventus. Some other people are saying it's going to take Stefano Pioli's job, AC Milan. Some saying Inter Milan.
It's sabbatical. It's going to go on sabbatical.
That's what we hear. But at the end of the day, he's going to need to get to do a job. Well, if he doesn't get a job now, I don't know what he's going to decide to do. But I'm just happy. I'm just happy for the man. First off, Luciano Spalletti, just like Claudio Ranieri, he would, that black sign over his head that you don't win, you don't win, you always struggle, is taking off. Like, just like, the first English coach that will come and win the Premier League will be the guy who unveiled the corporate veil, So I think he's done that. That's fine for him. And Victor Osimhen, Zobo Anguissa, everybody in that team have got a story. Zobo Anguissa went to Fulham and was considered a flop. Now he's won the league. There are players that were kicked out from their club, came to this team, and they've done well. Elmas, Lobotka, as far as Stella has come in, people said he wasn't going to settle in. I remember when he was signed on, people said, where you go to Georgia to go get a player that will replace Amsik and the rest in a club that people like Gonzalo Higuain and Mara Amsik have played for. You go and bring a player from Georgia. And when the big guy that went to Chelsea from Napoli, what's his name now? The Senegalese Koulibaly left. Everybody's like Kim Min Jae. I mean, you leave a man, you remove a man thing, and you go and bring in this guy. Yes, even though he was a destroyer in the league, but I mean, they don't match. It seems like a mismatch. But then they've come out together, harmonized the team together. It didn't need to take years to gel, because a lot of time people say, "Oh, you can't just bring in new set of players and compete for title. You need years to do that." But then Luciano Spalletti have been able to build a team, weave some new 3, 4, 5 new players together with the old players, and he's won the league title. Also qualifying for the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League for the very first time in their history. I think he's done well. Congratulations to him and the rest of the team. And for Victor Osimhen, salute.
Salute, Osimhen, MFR. We wish you all the best in your career moving forward. Now, moving on the show, let's take it home now. Let's talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League. And Nigerian Premier Football League. To get that professional, I struggle to take that professional with and all that.
I was listening to you on commentary duty, and I was just waiting for one mistake. I was like, I will yank this guy off. If this guy tried me, I will yank him off my production. But you did well. I must say that throwing you in the deep end, and you just slotted it perfectly well.
Yeah, we continue to do better. The Super Six is in front of us. Is this weekend?
Yeah,
the Super Six. This Nigerian teams will have a lot to play for this summer. And there's the Nigeria Super 8. I was watching the unveiling on Friday on DSTV, and that's also coming. And there's the Zoom Obosi Super Cup tournament, preseason tournaments coming up again. The MPFL Super 6. So quite a lot.
Is it Nigeria Super 8, not the Obosi Super 8?
No. Nigeria Super 8 is the one being voted by fans.
Okay.
Region and all that. So it's another tournament coming up this summer. And these clubs will be quite busy. There's also the Federation.
I think I want to be part of that. Those Super 8.
Yeah, there's the Federation Cup as well for teams coming up as well. So but let's stick with the NPFL now. We have our Super 6 teams confirmed. For Group A, let's look at the 3 teams in Group A who play in Super 6. It's official. National United and Economic Warriors have been relegated. Let's start with Bendel Insurance. Bendel Insurance, they have a chance to do the double.
Yeah.
Then the Federation Cup semi-final. And then the Super 6 for the MPFL. What are their chances for Bendel Insurance, in this Super 6?
I think it's only a fool that will write off Bendel Insurance, because they are well funded and well supported, well put together team. They have a mission. One of the things that have also gone well for Bendel Insurance is a team that have used the least amount of players this season. One or the other, injury just seems to have been far from them. Teams like Kwara United use more goalkeepers than strikers this season. Teams like Nassau United, but Bendel Insurance have used the same goalkeeper, the same strike force, the same midfield, the same central defensive pair all through. The only place where they've rotated is in the Federation Cup, and they've also shown that even when they rotate player, they still know how to get the result. The thing about Bendel Insurance is they don't play flamboyant football like you would see an Eyimba do, for instance, or a Rivers United do, but they are just the most difficult team, the most impossible team to beat. They are immovable in the way they structure themselves. Monday they have managed to put a unit together that they do the low block very well, and they come out when they need to come out very well. I think that I put my smart money on them to get on the continent, but I don't think, and this is strange, and my Bendel Insurance brothers and sisters will not be happy. I don't think Bendel Insurance will win the league.
Okay.
Yeah, because coming in from winning 18, doing 18, and I think what they would do with the Super 6 is, first off, win their first game. Make sure they don't lose their first game, so that they beat that. Now they've equaled Aqua United. Aqua United have gone 18. The record is 18. They've equaled that record. Bendel Insurance are desperate to do 20. Set a new record. Do 19, that's a new record, and then do 20. But I just think that somewhere in this is going to be a situation whereby, I don't know, everybody will be putting eye on them like, oh, this insurance, when they lose, let's go hard on them. Let's not take it easy with them. And that just might be their greatest undoing. I want them to win it, because it will be another Luton Town kind of story where a team get promoted. But I mean, Bernard Insurance is old warhorse. It's not like Bernard Insurance is not a new team. Luton Town is also not a new team. They were among the first set of people that played in the first Premier League season. But I just think that there's this thing about Bernard Insurance that makes me feel everybody wants to go out for them. Everybody, and any team of Bernard Insurance would be what the other 5 teams would do. And then you have veterans at this level. What's it called? Eibar. Only problem with Eibar is that they don't have money. But Eibar still have quality players. They have also mastered the art of winning. Eibar played the Super 6 before and they won it. I can't remember the team that they beat. It's the Lobby Stars or Casino United also. But they've been in this situation before. They know how to navigate their way through. And then you have
Remo Stars.
No, I don't think Remo Stars.
For me, the turning point.
I don't think Remo Stars will win the league.
Getting into the Super 6. I think it was a way at Plateau United where they got that win.
Yeah, 2-1.
It was a statement win.
They came from a good
a statement win. But what are their chances in this Super 6?
I think for Coalition Ahmed and his boys, what is most important is for them to qualify for the continent. But then there are 3 teams that they would have to contend with, unless they hope that those teams meet each other and then knock themselves out. The best thing that will work for Remo Stars is to get the luck of the draw. If they get the luck of the draw, it works for them. But if they don't get the luck of the draw, I think that they were better last season compared to this season. They've done very well. They've shown one of the reasons why everybody wants the Remo Stars to continue to go on the continent and progress, in the league is the fact that the whole cry of we don't want government ownership in the league, we want private ownership. You want to see that going, but I think that the weight of expectation might just be too much. That the reserve team have just qualified for NNL. And I just think, I don't know, I might be wrong, but I just think that, yes, the second half of the season, they brought in some experienced players like Lokosa. They brought in, what's it called, from Dubai, from the UAE.
They also have Ifeanyi
Williams
in the squad as well.
Yeah, they have Ifeanyi Anemana who went into Tunisia and then came back. So they've got some experienced players, and a lot of people want to see. But I just know, I don't know, but I think the trio of Bernal Insurance, Eibar, and Rivers United, and then Lobby Stars who are, veteran campaigners at this level. First time we came to Lagos to do, a team come to Lagos to play in the playoff for the league title was in 1999. You have Plateau United, is it Heartland? I don't know. Plateau United, but Lobby Stars won it with Roberta Carrier, Odeoga, and the rest of them in that squad at the time. It was Pepsi then. It was a Pepsi playoff. I think again that might just play itself again, and Remo Stars and Sunshine Stars will become the whipping boys of this.
Shout out to Rivers United with the whole backlog of games. They came from behind, won their outstanding games to end Group B at the top.
I knew they were going to do that.
Defending champions of the NPFL, and they would want to retain their title as well. But I mean, it's the Super 6 this time, so quite different kind of terrain from last
I don't know what I'm thinking about it.
Because
I don't know. Eibar hardly lose in Lagos. Haven't you noticed that? Eibar comes to Lagos, won the FA Cup. Eibar won the Super 6 in Lagos before. Eibar hardly, dropped the ball. They are that team that is, the team that is most ready for the occasion is Eibar. Rivers United does have quality players on their fold. And I hope that they don't get any injured players. They've got the most experienced, the longest serving coach in the world. If anybody have a record longer than that, should prove me wrong with it. But the longest serving coach, Coach Stanley Guma, is the longest serving coach in the world right now. He's been around since forever. The only coach in the history of Nigeria to win the Nigerian FA Cup from the second division. And you almost want to tell yourself that team. I saw them in Uyo. I was in Uyo. I saw them in Uyo in their training. I saw them lose to Eibar on penalties in the FA Cup, and I'm almost saying to myself, this team is good enough to go all the way. There's just one thing missing, mentality or not. I think Eibar, Rivers United are my smart money. My smart money is on those two teams.
I agree too. I think I'll go with those two teams, Eibar, Rivers United. But I mean, shout out to the Sunshine Stars. Kind of
how they sneak into it.
The dark horse.
I can't tell. It's still the chance of Doma.
I was rooting for Doma United. It would have been a good story. A newly promoted side, just like Benin Insurance, even though Benin Insurance they are like historic when it comes to Nigerian football. But Doma United, they lost it on the last day of the season. But Sunshine Stars, shout out to them. The manager who was sacked by Shooting Stars is the one who has lead them to the Super 6 spot this time. Edith Agoye I was making some research and I find out that he's done a good job with Sunshine Stars, and hopefully
won the league as a player as well.
Yeah, won the league as a player. I did something around Shooting Stars some couple of years ago, and I spoke to him. A very gentle man, alongside Dini Jalal, the backroom team of Shooting Stars then, and the likes. But I mean, good to see them in the Super Six.
I will need you to do a whole lot more this new season.
Hopefully, they get to surprise everyone. And moving on from there, we have our first question on the show. It's about the Super Six. He said, "Element, are we going to see these games on TVs?" From Yusuf. He said, "Are we going to see these games on TV, or are you going to be the one just like you did in some couple of games?"
Okay, so for the Super Six, we're not producing. It's VTLS that's producing. The good news is that it's going to be on DSTV. So all 15 games of the Super Six will be on DSTV. So Yusuf, get your mind at rest. It's going to be on DSTV. We're still trying to say that they should also stream it on YouTube. So for those who cannot have it on DSTV, 3 games per day. Some games you'll not be at home. You just want to watch it on your phone. Maybe you go get Showmax. Maybe you go get all of the apparatus that DSTV offers for it to be online. But I still think that the GTI guys should insist on it airing on their YouTube channel so that it can reach a larger and bigger audience, for that purpose. But we're not producing. We're hoping that we will produce a lot of BTS that will be carried through the off season and go on. But we're also working on the Dozier Championship. The Nigeria Super 8 we're not going to be part of that one. That one is 100% DSTV. But for the Dozier stuff, I think we already have preliminary conversation. Emmanuel Sebastian's face will be a lot on that one if we get the dotted line signed. I think we would put up the best of our creativity on that. Whatever you think you've seen us do with the league is just us experimenting. It's about time we bring out everything that we have in our head and put it there. It's a Nigerian league. This is the one that we've got, and we've got to give it the very best.
All right, Yusuf, if you're in Lagos, you can also come to the stadium to watch the Super Six.
Yeah.
We don't know if there's going to be tickets.
I pray there's tickets. I pray people pay. I hate it when football matches are made for free because.
So you want them to put tickets?
Yes. When what's it called? Naira Marley did a show at the Hotel 2 years ago, and shut down the Hotel. People always say that Naira Marley fans are local people. Mm-hmm. The ticket was very high and the place was packed full. So just now Davido just did the show at TBS. It wasn't for free. People pay. So I think the idea of hosting a football tournament and opening the gate for free, it pisses me off. It just puts it in that place where they say football is not for business. This is for charlatans. I don't want that to happen. You want to watch the game, pay and come and watch the game. If you want to create a culture around football, people should pay. What people don't pay for, they don't value. That's just the truth. That's the way I see it. I might be wrong, but I've come to know that what people don't pay for, they don't value. Even friendship. If you're too available for people, they abuse it. So you've got to make people pay for it.
All right. The Super Six kicks off this weekend, June the 3rd. There are going to be 3 games per day. First day, the next day is rest day. The next day we have 3 games again until June the 11th, where we're going to have the final, and we decide the winner of the 2022-2023 Nigerian Premier Football League season. I can't wait. But looking forward to that one, and I'll be there. I'll be there for all games to catch all the actions.
I'll try to be there. I don't know if I'll be there, but I'll try.
It's closer to me than it's closer to you. So
yeah,
I'll do all I can to be there to watch these games and enjoy the best of Nigerian football. Now, moving on the show, let's go to Argentina and talk about the Under-20 World Cup. I mean, what sits with Nigeria and Argentina? Every time Argentina, you must meet Argentina. But this time it's the Under-20 World Cup, and Ladamboso and his boys, they have the World Cup up for them. They're going to be facing Argentina, the host nation, the makeshift host. Yes, because they were not initially the host of this World Cup. It was Peru, but they're going to be taking Argentina. That game is on Wednesday. For the Flying Eagles, they had the chance to seal top spots in that group. That game against Brazil, like you talked about, in a horrible pitch. I don't know how that pitch came about.
Was approved.
I don't know. We've seen better pitch.
It was more like beach soccer than real football.
Exactly. We don't know how that could happen. Even during the game, birds were camping on the pitch. Whenever the players get there, they fly away.
And then they come back.
So I was like, what's happening? Is this a football match or something? But I mean, they lost that game and they condemned the Flying Eagles one of the best losers of the tournament. Finished third, and they'll be facing Argentina. Lionel Messi, I mean, to be honest, people are waiting for this man to fail because it's been. I'm being factual with you. I'm in so many football groups. We know how he got the job. He's been there forever. People want him gone, so they are waiting for this "I told you" moment for Lionel Messi to fail with the team and people go ahead.
Why are we? So I'm not a fan of Ladaboso so to say, but I'm not so a Ladaboso hater. Like, oh, I want to see him fail. The question
people are hating because they want to see other people in the job. Why recycling
that's not a conversation. Let's be very honest. Sometimes these people are put in there because not only do they understand the politics of the terrain, they are the ones who can manage the eventualities that comes with the job. If the other day somebody was asking me, what will he do Nigerian football to put Olumide as the under-17 coach? And I said that Olumide will fail with flying colors. It's the best young coach Nigeria have right now, or Coach Ayeri, put them in the under-17. They will fail. You know why? They are good coaches, but they are not politicians. And for those people who always say that, do you have to be politician? Listen, if you're wrong, you do as a Romans do. There are systems that you can operate in, that if you bring in another expert that is better than you to come and operate in that system, they will fail woefully. So what would you do? I would rather put the guy who can survive that system. If me and you go worry now, I will go worry Ghetto. You go lost, and I'll walk easily. But me and you go at Jegule, I go lost, you will walk easily, right? So sometimes you have to understand all of these extended factors. You see that thing I did to you when I took you to Akure. And I didn't prepare you like, oh, hey, man, but I've had that since the first game in Jos. I just needed the right place, the right environment. I've been preparing Emmanuel team that, okay, I'm going to give this guy a chance, but I'm not just going to do it and then people say, oh, it's nepotism. No, I want to do it because it's ended. And I'm also not going to do it with the mind of, oh, I coached him into it. I'm going to do it with him proving himself or failing. And you did well, right? Same for Timothy Debo. Now, the thing about this life is you need to put people in their comfort zone. If I had taken Timothy Debo to Jos, he may have done badly. But he lives in Akure, schools in Akure. He understands Kwara United and a bit of Nassau United. It was easy for him to be the guy who fits in there. So that's some of the things that they do when they employ these coaches. I don't think that there is anybody in the NFF who, there are so many things you hear on the side and you're like, okay, no, this is, you can accuse people, but this thing does not follow fact. Like, oh, they employ them so that they can give them kickback. I'm like, how much kickback Ladaboso gets? This Ladaboso with the whole salary. It's not about giving kickback. It's about being able to survive the terrain, because the terrain is not good. It's not as easy as a lot of people think. And you just have to have the ability. And you can be a tough guy in Nigeria and they take you to Campton and you'll be a Mugu. Or they take you to Inglewood in California and you'll be so shocked at what you think you're a hood guy. You just realize that you were born again tall. Because when you go there, you see a different world that is different from what you're used to. So that's just the thing with the national team. So they appoint people who have capacity to deal with something. When they appointed Fidelis Lechiku, Imam Abapakabo, and what's the other guy, Kennedy Boboye, to run the under-23 team. And everybody say, yes, these guys are good. Each of them have at least qualified a league team to the continent. Imam have won the league with Rangers in 2016. Kennedy Boboye have won the league with Plateau United. And then Fidelis Lechiku had qualified MFR for the continent, which is a miracle at the time. I remember saying, and I went to Abuja to me, I said, when I go fail for this job, I told them, I said, when I go fail, we were having an evening like this, and they were trying to call this goalkeeper, this Omar discovered for Nigeria, what's his name now? Okoye then. And I remember calling Okoye and we were talking on the phone, and he guaranteed them that he's going to come. And I told them that this boy no will come. There's nothing you could do, this boy no will come. What you should do is build your team around players in the local league and get it done. But they felt, oh, they've spoken to them, they've spoken to some Nigerian player, Chuba Akbobs, all these guys, and they gave them their word. I said, they're not going to come. What happened? They failed. They didn't qualify. That was the Olympic you were supposed to go, Tokyo. Yeah. They didn't qualify. My point is, are you going to say that Boboye, Ilechuku, and Imamam were bad coaches? Those are some of the best young coaches we have, but they didn't understand the politics of the environment. So, as good as they were, They couldn't master the politics of the environment, and they failed woefully. Again, we just have another one now that failed. Salisu failed to qualify again. So sometimes it's because, we want to put somebody there. See, the reason why Sasa always succeeds is Sasa is a guy who immediately Sasa gets the job. He's looking for his friends that can help him fund all of the things that they want to do. People that will arrange friendly matches for him, people that will arrange camping for him, and all of those things. Those are very, very important. Which connection your coach gets? If you put a coach Ayeri for under 17, how would he be able to arrange all of that? Because the FA will not do it. If you put Olumide there, how would he be able to do that? So some of those things are what they consider. It's not necessarily because they recycle it. And I'm not going to wish Nigeria to fail so that I come up to say, I told you so. But if Nigeria fails, well, so be it.
All right, but previewing the game against Argentina, don't forget that the Super Eagles defeated Italy. They won 2 games.
The Flying Eagles.
Yeah, the Flying Eagles. Sorry, they won 2 games. They ended up with 6 points. I mean, all 3 teams, the top 3 teams, were all on 6 points. So it's not like they've done badly, but they just they capitulated in that game against Brazil. But Argentina, the host, I mean, the highest scoring team in the tournament so far. What's your take on that game? And do you think if they fall out against Argentina, how would you say the tournament has been for the Flying Eagles? Remember, the under-20 AFCON champions, Senegal, they didn't make it, past the group stage. So, I mean, these things happen. But, I mean, for the Flying Eagles and LAUDRUP, so would you think it's a successful tournament for them?
I was just going to go there. Senegal have invested a whole lot, brought in young coaches, done all the things that everybody expect Nigeria to do that Nigeria is not doing. And they won the African under-20 championship, and everybody said, "No, that's the way Nigeria should go." Then they went to the World Cup, they didn't get past the group stage. Nobody's saying that this thing that we suggested. That's why I've always said this thing to you, that the crowd, the people should shut up. They have no opinion. They don't know anything. And when I say, well, Daffy, you're being rude, no, it's not me being rude. The truth is there are certain things that you don't know. Don't speak. Don't just have an opinion. And the fact that you're just a sports journalist does not necessarily mean you know how these things work. The same people you say we should copy, they didn't get past the group stage. Now, Nigeria that is bad, that have a terrible coach that is not qualified, that's not good enough. My only grasp with Ladamboso, and I've gone behind the scene to check, it's not even Ladamboso's fault. Ladamboso is the head of the coaches union in Nigeria. And between 2017 and now, we've not had any coaching course, CAF licensing course, meaning that the younger coaches cannot promote, cannot even get that certificate to be able to sit on the bench in the league. Let's leave the national team now. Also, they're qualified to go to the national team. But then I found out that it's not even his fault. It's CAF. The man have actually written 113 letters in that process, because I went behind the scene to do my own check. It's written, and they've not done anything. This year, they're planning, CAF is not planning to do something. The whole transition from the former CAF president to this new one, I've also, stalled a lot of things because there was an in-the-house shakeup. And I'm also feeling the effect, because we've been trying to get clips from CAF since 2021. We've not been able to get it because they're moving department, they're having issues and all of that. Having said that, though, I think that you look at the team and you say to yourself, can they beat Argentina? Yes. The team plays too much for power. We're Africans anyway, so it's not surprising. We play too much for power. So there is lacking in precision. There is lacking in the ability to really take the chances that they create. There's too much pressure on them. You could tell that Ladamboso is playing under the greatest pressure of his life. Like, he just wants to prove that, I'm not a mistake. My employment is not a mistake. You see, when we scored the second goal against Italy, you see his reaction, bearing down to pray and all that, the excitement, the joy. It was a sigh of relief for him. I tell people that I don't go into coaching, or when I do my work, I don't do my work with that kind of pressure. I won't take that kind of pressure upon me. I let people talk. You want to have an opinion, have your opinion. I would even come out of the press and talk down everybody and then get my job done. If I win, I win. If I don't win, so what are you going to say that you've not said before? I think that there's a chance for them to win, but the thing is, you're playing against the host. Argentina hardly lose at home at any level. We've beaten Argentina at your youth level before, but they've also beaten us. So you look at this and you say to yourself, the only thing that can save Nigeria is if we score first. If Argentina dominates the play and then we score 2 quick goals like Brazil did to us, it might, bring them down, because they are silky. Their interpassing is very, very good. Their exchange of the ball is good. They also press very high, leaving some gaps at the back. If we can use our speed to dominate those spaces and exploit it, it will work. But my smart money is on Argentina to win. The officiating will favor them. The home ground will favor them. The fans will be on their side. the stadium will be packed full. Our players, I'm not sure our players will be used to having that much crowd in the stadium. This is the knockout stage now, and having that much crowd rooting against them might just work against them. I'm not making excuses for them, but I think that the power of the host will come to play in this competition. And for a FIFA competition, you already know that most times the host, especially hosts that plays that from a country that knows how to play football, always get some extra support to get at least to the semi-final. It's a guaranteed thing in FIFA competition that hosts, that know how to play football, gets guaranteed to get to the semi-finals. And I just think that Nigeria have just made a mistake of playing against the host at the wrong time.
All right, talking about playing the host, the last time we faced Argentina in the U20 World Cup was in 2005. The likes of Taita, Mikel, when Messi scored the winner for Argentina.
Was it Messi or Angel Maria?
No, Messi scored in that game as well. It was a 2-1 win. Messi scored, Di Maria scored in that game too as well.
Okay.
So it was a 2-1 win for Nigeria.
Okay,
So it was the last time we faced Argentina in the 20 World Cup. And just to add this to it, Chijioke Anier, also the goalkeeper, has been signed. He signed a 5-year deal. The tournament is going on.
In Ukraine. I didn't know why in Ukraine. Why is it going to Ukraine?
Football is still going on. So I don't know. A lot of people are come and say it's a wrong move. There's a war in the country. Why Ukraine? Could have waited till the tournament is over to get a better move. But I mean, from giant breeders to a team, newly promoted team in the Ukrainian top flight. I wish him all the best. It's a 5-year deal. Was with the Super Eagles the last time.
Yeah.
Was amongst the home-based goalkeepers that was called.
I'm just scared anyway.
We're all scared, but we hope it's a decent move and it's a launch pad to greater things.
Carl said that the Maria is under 23. I'm confusing those two now.
All right, I'm moving on the show. Yusuf is still asking questions. I don't know if this is rhetorical, but he said, I hope you are able to come out of this bad terrain. So you're talking about Bosu understanding the terrain. So he was saying, how long are we going to be in this terrain and all that? I don't know if that's a question or he's being rhetorical.
Sam Allardyce keep getting the job for relegation clubs in England. He's coached over 1,000 matches. It happens everywhere in the world.
Couldn't work his magic this time.
Yeah, it happens everywhere in the world. It's not going to be the same. In Italy, they recycled the same set of coaches, the Antonio Conte, the Allegri's of this world. It's the same. There was a time where it was the recycling team between Lippi, Zaki, Arrigo Sacchi, and Fabio Capello. Those are the guys who get the plum job in Italy. It doesn't matter what happened, they just rotate them within that space. It happens. Okay.
All right, so if it happens, and we hope Lambosu, wish him all the best. I mean, we're not going to sit here and hoping the team fails or fails.
I'm not going to wish my country to fail.
Exactly. So
it's not going to ever be part of me.
It's exactly with people who doesn't like Tinubu. We're not talking about Tinubu now, but I mean, he's our president, so we have to move on and accept the fact till the court says otherwise. Moving on the show, these are final talking points. Let's talk about the relegated teams now. I'll have to say, in as much as we have Nigerians relegated, we also have quite a number of them, promoted as well, ending the season with trophies in their hands. I'll expand on that on the Niger Players GPS. But I mean, Leicester City has been confirmed. Kelechi Iheanacho, Ferendidi, they've been relegated in Germany. Chijare Ejike relegated with Hertha Berlin in Italy. David Okereke and Sirideses relegated with Cremonese.
Yes, Sirideses is going to Rangers.
Yeah, they are looking at him. Would it be a good move? Should he grab that move with both hands? The Rangers might play in Europe next season, but I mean, this is a guy. He needs to play top flight football. Maybe the Scottish Premiership is not there, but just go there, play. I mean, see what they do with Nigerians who were there before. Aribo, Basi, and Balogun. These Nigerians that were there before. But the transfer window is just opening, so we don't know if they're going to pursue that deal. But Rangers are looking at him. They are losing a couple of strikers, so they need replacement and all that. But let's stick with Leicester City. Kelechi Iheanacho and Wilfred Ndidi getting relegated. What next for these two guys? Do you think they're going to get a move? Iheanacho came out to release a statement. Said, I don't even know how to feel right now. I'm so disappointed. I don't know what to say. I want to thank the football club, the fans, and everyone who has supported us right from the start up until now. I know it's a hard one to take. Whatever it is, we would keep going and stay strong, and hopefully we'll get back up. It is a downtime now. Nobody is really happy at this time. It is about timing for the club and everyone. We just need to take a chill and move on. It is not what we want. We can't go back now and thinking about it. we just need to move forward. Those were the words of Kelechi Iheanacho after relegation was confirmed in the final day of the season. Do you see these two guys playing top flight football next season, moving away from Leicester City? Kelechi Iheanacho and Wilfred Ndidi.
I think that if we take injuries away, Wilfred Ndidi is not a championship. I'm sorry, this is not me being arrogant. I no disrespect to the players that play in the championship, but I don't think Wilfred Ndidi is a championship player. He's the top quality midfielder. He's proven himself. He's way too good to be in the championship. Unfortunately, his team did not consider that in the equation. I still got relegated, but I still think that Wilfred Ndidi will get a top club to get him. The only thing standing in his way is the fact that his injury record is scary.
Yeah.
For Kelechi Iheanacho, I don't think there is any human being on the planet that can sit where they are and say, oh, this guy is not talented. You can't argue against his talent. And that's why it bothers you a whole lot. When you look at him and the way he applies himself, there's just something in you. If you go back and look at Kelechi, like, you look at the broad spectrum and do what we do, like analyze his body language, his movement, his positioning. You say to yourself, how can you be this talented? And sometimes I think he behaves like an ostrich. Have the body of an elephant and have the brain of an ostrich. That's just the way, or let's say the talent of an elephant and then the brain of an ostrich. That's the way I kind of like. This is metaphoric. This is not me trying to insult him. So I'm saying to myself, it would take a magical agent to get him not to be in the championship next season. And it could be away from the Premier League. But then he's also earned some good credits. That 2 seasons ago where he scored every day of the week, that conversation, this is the best time to use it as a bargaining chip to say, look, the reason why he didn't play that much was because he wasn't given a chance to play. It wasn't like he wasn't good enough. Every time he was given a chance to play, look at the things that he did. If you give him a chance in your team, he would do this, he would do that. And that can overshadow the whole talk of him being lazy. And I also understand that he's been carrying a niggling injury that might show up if a proper medical is done. But I'm just sitting here saying to myself, these guys, it seems like they brought it upon themselves, and it's hard for me to make a case for him. But I think that Wilfred Ndidi will get a club. I mean, it's all down to his agent. If he's got a very good agent, he'll get a club. Kelechi Iheanacho also will get a club outside of the championship if he's got a good agent that does his thing. But then it's down to their agent. Right now, it's down to their agent because it's more of, it's like the Nigerian league. Some people tell you that the league is not sellable. But I sit where I am and I'm telling you that, a good marketer will bring in 10 billion into sponsorship of the league, minimum 6 or 5 billion, right? And I've seen people tell me, oh, it's not possible. I've also sat down in offices where people tell me, oh, we're willing to put that money. Let's just see what goes on with the handing over ceremony and all that. So it depends on who's speaking and in what room are they speaking. It's very, very important. It's like going to TikTok. So when you go to TikTok, watch the people that are doing TikTok. Like you see most people shaking your hands, asking you to grab this or grab that. But then there are some TikTok room that you go to, you'll be educated. It's the same thing with managing players' career. You need to have the guys who sit in the room, walk into the room and demand that a player be signed because of how good he is. Or, but it's sad to see 2 very talented Nigerian players get relegated.
For Kelechi Iheanacho, he has a year left on his Leicester City contract. So, it looks like he's the one likely to move away from Leicester City and might just be away from the Premier League, like you talked about. So, just to add, Everton survived. Like I saw on Sky Sport, they have now spent 70 years in the top flight. I think only Arsenal have spent more in the top flight. So,
but I told you they were not going to get relegated.
It's such a team like that gets relegated, from the Premier League.
I see. Let's say Everton. This season was not the season that Everton gets relegated because there's already a budget for them to build a new stadium. That relegation happens, that project will be cancelled. You think that the British government, the politics, the establishment, as I like to call them, the establishment or the British sporting Illuminati would sit back and say, "Oh, we don't want that investment." That investment will bring in job for the brick and mason people. That will bring in job for the iron people. That investment will bring in job for the British electrical people, the road construction people, the real estate people. You think that whole investment, this is more than football. It's a business. People should understand that. Apart from the individual unit of the clubs that is a business, The whole league is a business enterprise. And in business, that's one thing I learned when I was in Brilla. Roger used to say it a lot to people when you have issues with you, he will tell you this. And it does sound arrogant, but it is true. And he would tell maybe like over this or somebody said, this company will not sack a manager for an ordinary reporter. So have that in your tick score so that you behave yourself well. When it comes to choosing side, management will side with their manager unless it's complacency that is borderline threatening to life or sexual harassment. And it has always been like that. So when the establishment look at it like, oh, if everything get relegated between 800 million to 1 billion would not be invested in the economy. What do you think? You know that they say by road safety that they say if you carry 10 people in your vehicle and one person is crossing the road, if you swap, the 10 people would have hit that person, let the person die, right? This is the same thing with investment. When it comes to business, and most people who talk football, the fans and all these people who make noise about football, don't really understand the way decisions are made in the boardroom. And that's one of the things that stand in the way. That's the thing that brings all this emotion, all this noise. Listen, if Everton was at the bottom where Southampton is, and they had like 3 games to go, and they stand a chance of surviving, they would have survived. VAR would have made them survive. You see, this you don't understand. The business is always more important than the football. The football is just emotion driven. The business is what drives money. It's what puts money in the hand of the tax. It's Majesty's taxman. It's what creates job. When the government is counting the job that they've created, the job they create through building stadium is their job. They record it for themselves. You know, all of these things, people will sit down in the office and say, no, that can't happen. No, you can't make that happen. You must find a way. Hey, I would put the referees that will make that decisions easy for them. And that's exactly what happens in football. But people don't see, like, and this is I'm saying, and a lot of people tell me that I shut up, you don't know what you're saying, but it is just what it is. Okay. I'm happy for them that they survive and they can go on and build their stadium. I'm also happy for Luton Town that they've progressed. They will go from 10,000 capacity stadium. I'll bet you that when they start next season, that stadium will be 15,000. You'll be surprised the miracle that will happen. That stadium will be between 15 or 20,000 capacity stadium.
All right, for Everton, and it will be the big question is now, will he sign that contract extension? It's been talks, it's been put on the table for him. He's just waiting for the relegation status to be confirmed, survival status to be confirmed. So the big question is, will Iwobi sign that contract extension?
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you this one, Emmanuel. You know, because you and a lot of your guys have always been on my case. When I used to say Alex Iwobi knows how to play ball. No. Would you sign Alex Iwobi for Liverpool?
I won't.
Okay. Why?
I won't sign.
So you guys don't like good players?
It's not. I don't know if I can look at it in terms of need or not.
What I bet.
We should ask our producer if he's going to sign it for Manchester.
Hey, producer, come to the mic. Producer, come to the mic. Just come for this one. Manchester United. You're a Manchester United fan. Producer, no verse. You're a Manchester United fan. Will you sign Alex Iwobi for Manchester United?
Maybe to train on that 23 players. Possible.
No. So why una call they treat me like say I they talk rubbish when I just see the boy knows how to play ball? You don't want to have a Liverpool, you don't want to have a Manchester United. And if I ask Arsenal fans now, you guys are looking for a midfielder. Would you sign him back? No. Chelsea, would you sign him to replace Messi? Man? I'm sure the answer is no. Newcastle, would you sign him to replace Joe Willock? The answer would be no. Just so is it I would not like player away Sabi play ball?
Yeah, just maybe their level.
Now me just so which level is they?
So maybe he can't play at that Arsenal level, that Liverpool level, that Manchester United level. Maybe the Evertons.
Come to him, baby.
Maybe the Bournemouth, those are his levels. But I mean, it's good to see them. They're going to play top flight football next season. But we are keenly watching if he's going to sign that contract extension. And finally, for Taiwo Awoniyi, they survived. I mean, he scored another goal.
Again, I'm right.
6 goals in the last 4 games as Nottingham Forest escape relegation, and they will
and Buhari did not remember to give me honor for all these things that I do. Hey, okay, because no. See, I told you here at the start of the season that let the heavens fall. One club that would not be relegated, like let them sign 22 players like MPFL, they would not. But then again, they manage that situation very well. They are the only club in the bottom 4, bottom 6 that didn't change their coach. They trust the coach and they kept it going. That's a football story. And they also trust the players. At some point, he kept rotating and then he found the players that worked for him. And somebody, Carson Ascot 347 says, what would you advise Dennis Emmanuel looking at the fact that he wasn't a starter? I think I'm going to throw it to you. You're the one that followed them a whole lot. I'm not a fan of Emmanuel Dennis. I'm sorry.
He might get sold. I think he's one player who's the coach doesn't fancy him.
Why did they sign him?
He's not. I don't know. They signed a lot of players, and they have experience in the squad. Actually, Emmanuel Dennis is quite experienced. I mean, he's played in Germany, he's played in Belgium, scored goals, scored Champions League goals. But I don't know why he's not being looked at. He's injured, but he's returned from injury. But I don't think one player might let go. They need to sell some couple of players. They signed a lot. They've had experience in the squad, so Emmanuel Dennis might just be. I mean, he was close to, he was close to leaving in the last one.
January,
yeah. So he might just be let go. But Taiwo Awoniyi is a mainstay. So if you ask me, Emmanuel Dennis, if when a club doesn't want you, you just have to find a way and leave. So you should just find a place where he's wanted.
Would you sign Emmanuel Dennis for Liverpool?
No, of course. Where did that question come from?
I'm not asking like his quality players, top quality player, fine boy, diamond earring.
He's not a club player. He's going to.
Can't club make him his player?
No, he's going to get fined or suspended. It's a wrap. It's a wrap on the show today. And stick around. That player has a lot of trophies has been won. In spite of the fact that we got so many relegated players. So many trophies have been won.
As we go, let me say to everybody on YouTube, I see all your messages, but you know how the show is on Tuesday. Tomorrow I'll be here again, and we would take on before I go to school. Thank you very much for being on the show today. God bless you all, and have for yourself a wonderful and exciting day. Coming up next is the Nigerian Players GPS show. I will be on the app and on the website if I were you. Bye bye. See, Emmanuel Sabasi, you run from Emmanuel Dennis. You know what made a sign up for Liverpool?
Oh.
Now wow. Haters.
Nothing I just saying, I can forget.